بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. Dear listeners, viewers, students, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I hope all of you are fine and staying safe. Inshallah ta'ala, today we're going to be talking about Islamic law or Sharia or the legal thinking of Islam. This is a topic which is being misunderstood by many, not only non-Muslims, but Muslims as well. You see, law is very important to control our lives. Humans make mistakes, and if the mistake is of a smaller level or at a very great level or a very which requires a strict action, the law defines it. It's all over the world, and that's an acceptable thing. Now, the next thing is, how do we select the law, which law to go for? So we know that we have lawyers who practice and judges who decide based on a particular law. Now, in Islam, it is very important that to know that is there any framework or anything regarding the law present there? Did the Islam presented to the society any solutions to solve their problems or to access the justice? So that's very, very important. Now, let's look at something that's our topic today, the sources of Islamic law, right? And let's see what or how the things are done in Islam. So today our focus is to know what is the solution Islam gives us in terms of law. So in order to move on, and the first thing you got to be extremely clear is what is Sharia law, or what is law, what is Islamic law, what is Sharia. The first thing is that it's a complete code of Islamic law pertaining to the rights and the duties of Muslims. So what is Sharia? Sharia is a complete code. Through Sharia, you come to know that how I will be dealing with the lives of the people, like what are the rights of the other peoples, what is my duties to do those tasks. Moving on to the next one, what does it governs? It governs the conduct of a man. At the same time, the ignorance of the man, and gives true perspectives of his rights and duties. So if you remember, when I started this, that it is important that we give the true perspective, we provide them justice in the society. And what is Sharia doing it? It exactly providing it to the society, the solution that gives them true perspectives of their rights and duties. The thirdly, now it mainly deals with the methods of worship, social principles, law regarding man's relationship with each other, and the conditions regarding lawful and unlawful and similar problems. So this is how, or the areas in which Sharia is acting upon it or deals with. Then the only purpose of the Sharia or Islamic law is to regulate people's life. To regulate people's life. This is the purpose of Sharia. Then, Sharia law are very much comprehensive, and it deals from dressing, like how to dress, on all the way to complex lawmaking, right? So it's a very diversified law that covers different aspects of our life. Then it is for all types of people. Now this is something important. The justice in a society, according to Islam, everybody should have the same access to justice. So therefore there is no different law for somebody who's ruling or a king and somebody who is at the poor level or at the lower class level or the lower class or the very poor people. And for that matter, if you can see, it says here that for the sweeper or the king. So it's the same for all of them. So that's one of the great points of Sharia. Then we have, it's an Islamic law, right? So it's Muslims, Quran, non-Muslims? Yes. Remember, Islam gives you a solution within the society. So in here, what's happening? That if you have a society, and the society, you're going to have Muslims, you're going to have non-Muslims as well, right? So what are you going to do with non-Muslims if you don't have any laws or for them to regulate their lives? So Sharia covers that as well. So Muslims and non-Muslims, Sharia covers both of them, right? So it tells us how to deal with the non-Muslims as well. So this shows that Islam is a religion which gives the religious freedom to others, to other religions to practice their religion. Literally, Sharia means a clear path to be followed. And technically, it stands for the regulation of man's life in a way which is best for him. So, what are we doing? If we say that, okay, it's a clear path to be followed, but what it actually is in technical terms, or we call it, that it stands to regulate people's life in a way which is best for them. Sharia is the code of law. Sharia is the code of law for the Islamic way of life, which Allah has revealed to mankind and commanded us to follow. The word Sharia means clear, straight path, or example. Sharia or Islamic law is the code of conduct for Muslims, and it is based on certain sources. You see, whenever there is some law or anything, it is always based on something. So the Sharia law is based on Quran and Sunnah. So the first two primary sources, which sources? Primary sources are Quran and Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It aims towards the success and welfare of mankind, both in his life and the life after death. Meaning, it's not just a regulation, it's just not to regulate, okay, the people are there, so we need to regulate them. No. Islam is very clear in its goals, in its aims. Now, what Sharia's aims is? That it aims towards the success and welfare of mankind, both in this world, in this dunya, and in the akhirah. So you see, it is not some just procedures that many people think, oh, law is just a set of procedures. No. Sharia is the code for your life. How are we going to go about in the life? Sharia regulates that. And this, what many people think, see, with the other laws, what it is, it's a set of procedures which applies to a very specific area. Whereas in Sharia, it applies to those areas as well, but it applies to the mankind and particularly to the Muslims, right? How their lives will be regulated. Sharia prescribes a complete set of laws for guidance of mankind so that the good, that is ma'ruf, may triumph and evil, that is munkar, disappears from the society. So again, you see, a very clear goal is for the guidance of the mankind. Then what should triumph? What should prevail in the society? What should be dominant is ma'ruf, goodness, and the evil, the munkar, should disappear, right? So Islam has given us a system how to give up or how to eradicate evil from the society. Then it provides a clear and a straight path which leads to progress and fulfillment in the life and attainment of Allah's pleasure. So there is no such thing as confusion. Oh, we're not clear, No, it's not there. Sharia provides us a very clear and a straight path. And what that leads to? It leads to progress and fulfillment in the life and attainment of Allah's pleasure. You see, whatever we do, what do we do for? We do for the sake of Allah, for the sake of Allah's happiness. All our actions are, what is the purpose? We want Allah to be happy from us. In order to do that, so that Allah becomes happy from us, it is important that we know that what steps we're going to take that Allah will become happy from us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us. Today we did the introduction to Sharia or Islamic law. Will inshallah ta'ala in the next lesson we will look at some comparisons. You see, here I've presented you what does Islam has for the humanity, for the mankind, and also we're going to be talking about like what's Islam is different, like how Sharia is different from the man-made laws. So we will do a small comparison inshallah ta'ala. and then we'll move on to some examples and eventually to the sources of Islamic law. So it's going to be a series of lectures, and I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that may Allah guide us and enable us to do good learning, and also enable us to get a good understanding and follow the Sharia in our lives. It's not a slogan, it's a path to be followed. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.